Hey guys, Aaron 223 coming at you with an episode tonight. Today is going to be just a couple of ideas that you can use in case you don't have a lot of money in Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's going to be kind of like a budget segment. I'm just basically going to talk about two cards that you can replace two of the big cards that just came out with and still do pretty well. So if you don't have the money to get Pot of Duality and Solemn Warning, consider these as like acceptable substitutes until you do get those cards. Now, before I start, I really want to just point out that Pot of Duality and Solemn Warning pretty much define the meta for the next 6 months. So if you can get them and use them because they're really good cards. If you can't, if you can only get if you can't get them, here's a couple ideas. If you can't get Solemn Warning, why not just try good old compulsory evacuation device? Uh, this card is so good against synchros because it just basically says all those things you just did to use it. Yeah, nope, sorry, gone. Um, Other things about this card, I mean, obviously don't use it on Monarchs. That's stupid because they're just gonna get to use their effects again. But if they had to go through the trouble of like special summoning something, or one of my favorite things to do is they summon a Dark Arm Dragon and they call priority, remove one, and target a face down card. It could be this, and then whoop, back to your hand, and you just, yeah, you can't summon it because there's not enough darks in your graveyard anymore. So it really hurts things like that. Chaos Sorcerer, obviously, they're going to call priority if they summon it, but bouncing it back to their hand, well, you can think about it. I mean, they might not have another light or another dark or something, or you have a DD Crow or whatever. So that's pretty huge. So if you don't have Solemn Warnings, this is like a $2 card, maybe even less than that. It comes in starter decks everywhere. So go ahead and try this card out if you don't have Solemn Warning. It's a really good card, so give it a try. If you don't have Pot of Duality, this just came out reprinted. Why not give it a try if you never used it before? Gold Sark. It might not be the speed that Pot of Duality gives you, but it's pretty damn close. You get your thing 2 turns after you use this. And it's any card, which in that respect is better than Pot of Duality, because Pot of Duality you don't always get stuff that you can use or you need. So Gold Sark is just a good option to have if you need that Cold Wave, you need that Dark Arm, you need that Chaos Sorcerer, heck, you need like an Effect Veiler or something, a Battle Fader, just anything, a Caius. I mean, I'm just naming off stuff that I've used in my decks in the past. I mean, Supervise, Gigaplants, Lone Fire Blossoms for my plants. I mean, in Rock Stun, I could get like Gale if I know I need to Synchro or something, or if I know my guy's gonna have a threat, or a Thunder King if I'm playing Sabers or whatever. Maybe that Royal Oppression, maybe that Smashing Ground. It's a good card to have, and I suggest that you try to pick it up from those special edition things. They're probably only like $4 or $5 as a single, which is a lot less than the 140 that Pot of Duality is going for around now. So those are just a couple of ideas, basically to help out people if they're having issues. Because I know I've seen a lot of people complaining about how Pot of Duality and Solemn Warning are super expensive and how they can't get them and whatnot. You could probably put these two cards in your deck in place of those two and still have a pretty functional deck. It's clearly not going to be as fluid, and compulsory doesn't compare to Solemn Warning as far as how good it is, but it's a respectable substitute for budget people. Gold Sark is a great substitute for Pot of Duality because they both add consistency to your deck. So I would say if you want to give it a try, just go ahead. Go ahead and try them out. The least that can happen is it doesn't work for you. That's fine. That happens to everyone. I only have 2 Pot of Dualities right now and 1 Solemn Warning. So clearly I'm stuck right now as to what to put in place of it. I'm actually using, this will be the 3rd card, that I kind of feel this card is underrated. Let me find it in my deck real quick. Sorry, guys. It would be this lovely card called, nope, dropped it, Enemy Controller. This card is basically, this is Book of Moon, but it has utility built into it as well, besides just flipping them and put them in defense. I mean, Book of Moon, obviously, you put it face down, that's huge. Um, Enemy Controller still is really good, depending on what deck you're using. You're running Quick Draw, Enemy Controller is a very good option. Tribute those tokens, take their monsters. Tribute the tokens, take their monsters. They can't sink if you take their monsters by tributing a token. I mean, I'm playing zombies right now. I mean, this puts Plague in the graveyard, puts Mizuki in the graveyard, puts Goblin. It makes Goblin Zombie go to the graveyard, triggering its effect to search. I mean, it's a great card. So I would say, give this a try too if you need a little extra utility or a little more defense. It's a quick play spell, so people are running a lot of trap stuns these days. So I'm trying to pack my deck full of as many spells as I can, and then I know that what I'm trying to do is game 2, I have a lot of traps in my side deck, and they're going to side out their trap stuns, and that's what I'm going to throw all the traps in, like Dimensional Prisons and Mirror Force and all that stuff. I don't actually have those main deck right now. But yeah, those are just a couple of options I was trying to show you guys, trying to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. The meta's clearly been pretty much defined at this point. You got X-Sabers and you got Blackwings. You got this light Gemini stun thing. You got stun in general is a good deck. I wouldn't be surprised to see, I mean, Gadgets was top 4 and top 8. Machinas are still good. GBs. I mean, you got a lot of decks. Quick Draws up there. Zombies. I want to make a point about zombies. I think zombies really have the chance to make a comeback in this format. The ability to have the zombie-only synchros is something that people really don't consider. Cards like Revive King Hades, who makes all your zombies King Hades, basically. They negate all effects of monsters they destroy. All your zombies. And then you got Archfiend Zombie Skull, which makes it so all zombies can't be destroyed by card effects. So that's pretty huge. And then I have Zombie World in my side deck for like frogs and machines, and when I do, I like to summon this a lot. Doomkaiser Dragon. When this is summoned, I can take any zombie from my opponent's graveyard and put it on my field. Anything in the graveyard is a zombie with Zombie World out, so I figure, why not, right? It's 2400 body that adds me another body that I can use to synchro with again, or what have you. I mean, besides that, you run the basic staple kind of stuff. And you gotta have this. You gotta have one more note. Get this at least one, and put 2 Cyber Dragons in your main of your side deck. So important to have this against machines. It's such a good card. It's Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. So I'm gonna stop before I start rambling again. That was my video, guys. I hope it's a little bit helpful. I mean, one thing I do notice, I'm gonna just talk for a little bit more. I do tend to ramble on about a lot of stuff, and I tend to lose my train of thought and just go off on a tangent, whatever. That's just how I am in real life too. I can start talking about one thing and end up talking about something completely opposite to what I was talking about. I don't mean to like sound like an idiot or point out the obvious multiple times, but sometimes it's the obvious things that we overlook. I mean, clearly, once you think about all the outside the box stuff, you forget to look back inside the box where all the obvious stuff is. And that's important for you guys to realize as Yu-Gi-Oh players, is you have to be able to look outside the box, but you have to be able to look inside the box too. Because you can't go wildly expecting all these ridiculous things because it happened once or twice and then never happens again. So that's my video for today. I might put another video up explaining Pot of Duality and how you can use it psychologically, because I like my psychology video set. But for now, peace out, guys.